Do 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 do. Are we live yet? Are we actually live yet? It's been going about 10 seconds, 13, 14, 15 seconds, and it looks like am I about to finally be on YouTube? Am I? Am I? Still says waiting for Alan Belk on here. And we've been going for 27 seconds now. Let me try to refresh it, see if that does anything. It doesn't want to let me refresh. It just want now when I try to pull down on it, it just tries to pull down on the. Yeah, see, I'm up. For whatever reason, it just wasn't loading up. But it's fine. We're all fine here now. Thank you. How are you? Bobby Wald is here and says that he can see me. So there's at least one other person. Yeah, I see two people. Now I just see one person. So I guess I'm still here. Did Bobby Wald leave, or is it just not reading right? Or the screen's frozen up now? The screen is frozen up now. Okay, it seems to be fine now. Let's see if it stays fine. Let's see if it continues to stay fine, or is frozen, or if Bobby Wald got kicked off somehow, or if it's just not reading me. I don't know, but now it says there's only one person. So, and I've been going for a minute and 24, 25, 26 seconds. Yeah, Bobby Walt says he's still here. So, but you saw it froze up on your end. It froze up on the StreamYard. I saw it freeze up. So, but yeah, this is kind of a late show because I just got back from watching the Odyssey, which was awesome, and I really enjoyed it. And it's funny because, like, I remember a lot of people talking about how that movie was woke because it had Lupita Nyong'o and Elliot Page in it. And, dude, they're, like, barely in that movie. Technically, Lupita Nyong'o plays two different characters, and both of them have very brief screen time. Like, it's hilarious that people got so bent out of shape about, like characters that are in like maybe like 2 or 3 scenes a piece. Like I think Elliot Page maybe has like 5 minutes of screen time, honestly. And for those of you who were out there saying that Elliot Page was going to be playing Achilles, that was not the case at all. Elliot Page played Sinon, which was a small but very important part actually. And Lupita Nyong'o was great, and she actually looked really pretty. She looks really pretty, like always, honestly. But like people were trying to post pictures of her from like some other movie and saying that was her as Helen of Troy, and it wasn't her. And she does look very attractive in the movie. Like whether or not it's a face that can launch 1,000 ships, that's up to your personal taste, I guess. But I thought she looked hot. You saw her at the premiere, right? Stunning, absolutely stunning. So people were upset that I guess that she just wasn't white, and like they say it's historical accuracy or something like that. Well, it's a fictional story. It was a fictional story at the time. Homer wrote a fictional story about Odysseus, and that's what this. So I don't even know if Helen of Troy was even a real person. To be honest, she could have just been completely fictional. For all I know there was an actual Trojan War. I know that much, but yeah, like I didn't really have a problem with it because I'm looking at this is high fantasy. I'm not looking at it as being some kind of. It's not a documentary, people. It's like 300 or Conan the Barbarian or Excalibur. It's one of those type of movies. Clash of the Titans. You think Clash of the Titans was historically accurate? No, this is like Clash of the Titans. It's like Conan the Barbarian. It's like Excalibur. It's one of those type of movies. It's like 300. So don't go into it expecting it to be a documentary. That's just silly. So I've been talking for like 4 minutes, and I haven't even really talked about the action figure yet. So maybe we should actually talk about the action figure, huh? So this is another one from Mattel. Their new line of figures. Even says new on there. Robin, the Boy Wonder action figure. And there's the Mattel logo. And we talked about this style of packaging on the review for Batman. And I do have Batman over here so we can compare. And I have the Flash. I'll be opening up the Flash sometime soon. I have all of these figures in this wave right now except for the Joker. And you can see the Joker, Batman, Robin, and the Flash. And the line is apparently called DC Super Villains. for some baffling reason. I don't really know why, but the blurb on the back says, the nefarious DC supervillains never rest, always scheming and plotting. Their vile pursuit of crime and chaos wreaks havoc across the world. Superheroes beware. And they've got some nice artwork on the back with a photo of the figure over Gotham City. Some various artwork of Batman and some other watchful protector, it looks like it says. And then another shot of Batman down here at the bottom. It looks like all the artwork of other characters on all the artwork that's like the repeated artwork is Batman. So like you would think maybe they could toss on, instead a picture of Robin, or put the Flash on the Flash's package. But nope, it looks like it's just always going to be this Batman artwork. So it's not really going to be any different, I guess. And it doesn't have any kind of individual bio for Robin. But I guess they just know, that they just figure who Robin is at this point. And most of us do, honestly. Bobby Wald says, the only thing I know about the story is that one episode of G.I. Joe with the Golden Fleece, Sergeant Slaughter was Hercules. Yeah, that was Jason and the Argonauts. So that was even a completely different story. They're both kind of like Avengers, Justice League style team ups of various heroes. So I could see how you might get them confused. But the Iliad had Achilles and Odysseus, and then the Jason the Argonauts, obviously Jason and Hercules and some of those other heroes. But they were all kind of like, I think Theseus was one of the Argonauts. But yeah, they were all basically like, kind of getting all these heroes together. And the Odyssey was the sequel to the Iliad. It was, Odysseus was the breakout character who got a spinoff, basically. Bobby Wald says, I can't remember what sent me. The advertisement was for Adam West 8-inch figure. Have you seen that one? I think so. If you're talking about the NECA 8-inch Adam West Batman, and that does look awesome. And they're doing a Superman also, and they're doing comic book style versions of the DC characters. So I'm really excited about those. So the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. And even while NECA loses their TMNT license, look at that. Now they're doing DC superheroes. So it kind of evens out, doesn't it? A little bit, I think. So let's go ahead and open this guy up. Now, if it had a bio on the back, it could tell us which Robin this is. And I'm not really sure which Robin this is supposed to be, because I look at this costume, and this is definitely the post-rebirth Dick Grayson Robin costume. I don't even know if Dick wore the classic Robin suit with the shorts in the rebirth continuity. I'm not sure. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. If anybody in the chat knows the answer to that question, please let me know. Or if you're watching this in the replay and let me know in the comments. And damn it, they taped this cape in again. Mattel, please stop taping the capes. I'm begging you. If you value the sanity of your loyal customers, stop taping these capes. But yeah, this one is very much this is the costume that Dick Grayson wears in the Rebirth era comics when they show him as Robin, or the Rebirth era and later. But from what I understand, officially, this is supposed to be Tim Drake. That their Robin is Tim Drake, and they do have a mold of this that comes with a cycle that's in a different paint scheme. And looking at it, I think it would work really well if we painted it into that classic Tim Drake costume, the Neil Adams designed Tim Drake costume. The one I really like. It does look like it's mostly sculpted to look like that costume, at least from the knees up. Those are definitely some Dick Grayson shoes there. Those are absolutely Dick Grayson shoes. And you can see what I'm talking about, where they're kind of like the classic sort of Robin shoes, but they're a little more tactical, a little more Robin, or a little more modern, but they're still definitely very classic Robin, the little short elf boots. And he's got Dick Grayson type gloves, now that I notice, the little flared gloves. But he does have Tim Drake padding on his shoulders. Amiga Cami is here, and I didn't have a chance to say hi to her yet because I was just in the middle of talking about this. But hello to Amiga Cami, good to see her. And says you've got to remove the tape slowly so that the glue prefers to stay bonded to the tape rather than the cape. Yeah, and you might have seen that I did indeed attempt to do that, but it always leaves at least a little bit of residue no matter what you do, and that's what I don't like about it. And this cape seems to be like kind of almost like a spandex type material, not quite as stretchy as regular spandex, but the texture and the look of it are very similar to spandex. And you can see if you look at the way his collar is done, it's not like the shirt collar like Dick Grayson has on this costume. It is more like the Tim Drake sort of collar. So really, I think this Robin could be whatever Robin you want it to be. And I figure the real reason that this is officially supposed to be Tim Drake is because there is a Nightwing figure in this line, which I haven't managed to get yet. He's in a 3-pack with a more hush looking Batman and Bane. And then there's another 2-pack that has Batman versus Mr. Freeze. And I did see another 2-pack at Target. This is the one I actually saw, was the one with Killer Croc in it. And Killer Croc is a dude who gets a lot of action figures made for him. Everybody loves Killer Croc action figures. So, but yeah, this is definitely based on that I think Dan Mora designed this Robin costume. And you can see that the sleeves and the gloves and the boots are all that kind of bright green, like you think of a Golden Age Robin. But the main difference between this costume and the original is you can see this one has long dark green pants, whereas the original one had trunks. And in the comic book even, they actually did have the little bit of his vest hanging down under the belt, just like the original Golden Age costume. But they didn't do it with this figure, and I'm guessing that's because, again, they probably want to reuse as many of these parts as possible when they repaint him into various Robin costumes. I'm assuming that we're probably going to get that Tim Drake costume that I like so much at some point or another. The head sculpt to me even looks more like Dick Grayson than it looks like Tim Drake, just in my opinion. And in fact, not only does it look like Dick Grayson, it looks kind of like the guy that played Dick Grayson on the Titans live action TV series recently. So anyway, we'll put the figure down for a minute and we'll talk about the accessories some. And it looks like that Robin, much like his mentor, hey, I just finished watching the Odyssey and there was a character named Mentor in it. That's where we get the word mentor. It's named after the character in the Odyssey. How about that? So here we go with the stand, the weapons rack. Set that aside. And there should be in here, the actual stand for the weapons rack. It's in there. I forgot to get it out. And like with the one that came with Batman, it's a little warped, so I'm going to have to get it back into shape. I never did get around to doing that with the Batman one, by the way, so maybe I should just go ahead and tackle both of those while I'm at it. Amiga Cami says that she loved the Titan series. Yeah, it was really good, wasn't it? I enjoyed it quite a bit myself, and I liked David Thewlis, I think was his name, that played Dick Grayson on that. I thought he was quite good. I really enjoyed him. In a perfect world, I would have seen him teamed up with Ben Affleck as Batman, but 'twas not meant to be, unfortunately. So this one, it's kind of interesting how they did it. You see it's kind of flooby there, and the reason is because he's got these two kind of battle staff things here. And it's not just a bow staff like Tim Drake usually comes with. It's very much of a kind of bladed weapon with some bat wing sort of shapes to it. Let's go ahead and get it off of the tree, and I'll use my snips to do that. Hopefully it won't have too much hang there. I did have a little bit on this one. I got it off the blades just fine, and that's good. But it does not seem like I was able to get it off of this part here. That's still a little rough. So I'm going to see if maybe I can trim it up. I don't think I'm going to be able to because, like, once you do that, it's hard to get it with a snip. So I'm going to have to use my X-Acto knife. And I don't know if I'm going to pull all these weapons off of here now. But I'll pull off the unique ones at least. There are duplicates. Like there's two of these staves, for instance. And my complaint about this staff that I have instantly is that I don't know how well I'm going to be able to get this into a two-handed pose because the staff itself is actually kind of short. Like the actual gripping part of it. And that's about the best I can get on it. since that's about the best that is. And it does have little holes for the tabs on the belt, so we can go ahead and put that on the belt. See what that looks like. But it looks like it was designed to be more of a two-handed weapon, but it's a little too short to be a two-handed weapon. But it does attach to his belt. I don't think this one is actually intended to be attached to the belt. I think that these are more to attach it to the weapons rack. I just wanted to do that to show that it could be done. So moving on to his other accessories, is he has a couple of different shurikens and a knife, and he has a couple of different pairs of bat cuffs. So let's look at these shurikens first. Get those off of the sprue. All right, so that's the more sort of batarang shaped shuriken. And put that in his hand and see what he looks like holding on to that. Pretty cool. See that? And then what do we got next? These are kind of a little more traditional shaped shurikens. If you caught my episode on the 1989 Beast Kingdom Batman figure, it is kind of similar to the shapes of the dirks that were created to be used in the 1989 movie, but like I was talking about there, they never actually got used in the 1989 movie. But there's that. Pretty cool. So we can see what Robin looks like holding on to one of those. And by the way, this is the figure that I was most looking forward to, even more than Batman, who's my most favorite character ever. There he is with that particular shuriken. But even though Batman is my most favorite character ever, this is the first chance I've had to get a figure of Robin in this costume, which I really like this costume. So I'm glad to finally have, a representation of it in my collection. So then we got two different pairs of bat cuffs. They look like they're both the same. So let's go ahead and get these off of the sprue. There's one more over here. Get that off. But yeah, I got to see 2 movies in the theater this year, which is more than I got to see at the movie theater last year, where like the only movie I got to see last year was Nosferatu. And I did love Nosferatu. But I had to go see the Masters of the Universe movie, and that was awesome. And it's kicking ass on streaming now, by the way. And I had to go see the Odyssey because, Christopher Nolan, that dude's never let me down. So let's go ahead and I don't have a Joker figure or any villains in this DC supervillains line. I don't have the one DC supervillain that they've actually put out as a single carded figure in the DC supervillains line. But I think that these bat cuffs should fit fairly well onto the McFarlane Joker here. So we're going to do that so I can show what a bad guy looks like in the bat cuffs. So there he is, ready to be taken back to Arkham Asylum with the bat cuffs on him. All right. And then I believe the last weapon, I mean, there's others on here, but they're duplicates. The last unique weapon is this knife. So let's go ahead and get that off of there. Robin comes with a knife. That's pretty hardcore. And it is a really cool looking knife, I think. And you can see it's got kind of like some spaces in the blade there. And it's just really nasty looking. It's a mean looking knife. Lone Dragon's here and says, I'm here, start over. Well, you haven't missed much this time, so that's good. You're right at, how long have I been going now? About 20 minutes, but like we really haven't been talking about the figure that much yet. I'm just now finishing up the accessories actually. So there's the knife that he comes with, and it does have, again, all these weapons have the little slots so you can peg them into various places on his utility belt on these square-shaped pegs. And then Robin is ready for battle. Get that on there. And man, he is armed to the teeth. Look at all that. And those that you can't fit onto the actual figure, you can fit on the weapons rack for storage. So, but there's what he looks like, and you see the cape kind of hides most of it from the back at least, but you can still see some of the gear peeking out the back, and that's really cool. So, nice job with this. And like with the Batman figure, this is a removable utility belt, and it actually unbuckles in the front. I'm going to set that aside for now, and we're going to talk about the articulation some while I've got this off of them. That way I don't have to worry about knocking all these weapons off of the belt. So, but let's go ahead and discuss that articulation right now. So Robin can look up about that far, look down about that far, tilt his head kind of quickly from side to side, rotate the head all the way around, of course the arms, rotate all the way around the shoulders, and they raise up to the sides about that far. Robin's got a single joint of articulation at the elbow, bends it about that far, and then that rotates all the way around. It's kind of at an angle, but it does rotate all the way around. And then he's got wrist articulation that rotates all the way around. You know, I was talking with my friend Rue the other day, and he managed to get the Joker. The one figure I wasn't able to find was the only figure he was able to find. How's that for irony? So yeah, he picked up the Joker, and he was really impressed with it, with the wealth of accessories that the character comes with, and the various masks. He has like kind of masks that you can put on the Joker or put on the other characters. Like he's got masks of Batman and Robin and the Flash in Jokerized versions. And you can put them on whatever figure you want to, really. But he was talking about how he was really impressed, and he's like, man, I think these things actually have better articulation than the old DC Universe classics, and they're cheaper. Lone Dragon says, I missed something. Robin is a villain? Well, I guess when he gets Jokerized, he is. But you know, like, I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine, man, as to why this line is called DC Super Villains. So it looks like, there we go. I was about to say, it looks like his waist is supposed to turn, but it's really stuck. But I was able to get loosened up. So his waist does indeed rotate all the way around. He can do the splits, no problem. He's an acrobat, folks. He's got to be able to, you know, do these kind of stunts. He can kick up about that far. Can't kick back very far because of his buttocks. And then he's got a thigh cut that rotates all the way around. And then he's got double jointed knees. That's about the range of motion you get at the knees. And then, unlike his mentor, Batman, he actually does have ankle articulation where the ankles rotate all the way around. It looks like that's all the ankle articulation they get. Whereas Batman, you know what? I was mistaken. Batman actually does have a boot cut. So I never noticed that before. I thought that it was just stuck like that. But no, he's got a boot cut. That's really cool. And since I have Batman, I, of course, did want to get a shot of the dynamic duo together. There we go. That's what they look like together. Don't they look great, folks? Let me put the belt back on Robin so you get the full effect. We definitely want to see Robin with the belt, don't we? Get that back on him. Come on, you. And again, like with Batman, it's very well designed. It's got that round buckle, a very Tim Drake looking buckle. And it does actually have a peg in there in the middle. So it's actually a functional buckle. It's not like a usual utility belt where the buckle's just kind of sculpted on and you fasten it in the back. No, it's a real working belt buckle. So that's really cool. So yeah, this is a great figure. I'm really happy with how it turned out. There we go. And these are not very expensive figures. They're like, I think maybe about like $12. They're figure like this for $12, that's an excellent price. Like we've been over all the articulation, and you know, like the core line of Masters of the Universe movie is about as well articulated as this, and they're much shorter figures. They're about an inch shorter than these. Do I still have that He-Man over here? Yeah, so we can see what I'm talking about. So yeah, He-Man is even shorter than Robin. That's what I'm talking about with this line being in a slightly smaller scale. Maybe they should have made those bigger. I don't know. Maybe. or made these smaller. It would have been nice if they'd have been the scale with each other one way or the other. And since this is they are going to do an adult collector line, but I don't know if they really even need to. I think these figures are good enough, at least for me. Amiga Cami said, I was guessing these would be more in scale with the Chronicles. They might just be. I don't remember if I compared them or not. Well, let's go ahead and do that right now, because I know I did have that He-Man figure around here somewhere. Yeah, here it is. Because I don't remember if I stood him next to Batman or not, but we can see. This is that one. I still have that Filmation, the Thundercats version of the Filmation harness on there. So I did buy a second one of these. So I might wind up leaving this one on this one. Leaving this harness on this particular He-Man. But if you want to see how they scale against each other, Chronicles He-Man is about, I'd say, half an inch taller than Batman. So they are, I think, comparably in scale. If you got the Superman from this line, which I haven't seen Superman from this line yet, but if you did, I think that they would scale nicely versus each other. If you wanted to have He-Man versus Superman, and who doesn't want to have He-Man versus Superman? That's always awesome. Yeah, I can't find what I did with the movie harness that came with this one. I don't know what happened to it. It got misplaced somewhere. But I wanted to buy a second one anyway, so I wanted to do that. And here's Al Davis. Hello, Al Davis. Good to see you. And yeah, so Amiga Cami says, I loved that comic when I was a kid. Yes, it was awesome. And Al Davis says, I didn't get no fucking notification. Well, that's unfortunate. I'm sorry. Sometimes YouTube be like that. Sometimes I miss notifications from the creators that I follow on YouTube, and that sucks. So, you know, YouTube is not perfect, I guess. But yeah, we were opening up the Robin figure, and I think I've said everything I need to say about this Robin figure. He's really cool, and you should definitely buy him, and it's definitely worth the price. You should pick him up. So, and then I have one more figure to open from this line, and that's the Flash. So I'll have the Flash to open up for you sometime in the near future. And last time I was out running errands, and I ran by a few Targets that day. Oh man, I found just too much stuff. I found way more stuff than I probably should have. But they had Roton marked down for they were marked down for like $11. So I got a Roton, and I got the Origins versions of Movie Man-at-Arms and Movie Triclops. So, and the 2-pack with Ram Man and Moss Man. So just got a ton of stuff. And Amiga Cami wanted to say hi to Lone Dragon. So there we go. And then Lone Dragon says, you should be notifying each of us personally, you lazy git. Well, I do the best I can, you know. And then Al Davis says the new non-McFarlane line, Big Boots. Yeah, it's the Mattel Robin. Amiga Cami says, oh, I would love to get that 2-pack, but I don't know where. Yeah, I'm not sure where it would be in your part of the world either. I know, like I said, over here in the United States, I found it at Target. And by the way, I did pre-order the movie Origins Skeletor, so I should be able to get that one. I still haven't been able to find a Trapjaw yet. I think that's a Walmart exclusive, but I've yet to see them in any Walmart stores. And anytime they go up on the website, they keep selling out immediately. So I kind of gave up on it after a while, kind of forgot about it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a movie one. Amiga Cami says probably a U.S. Target exclusive. And maybe, but I mean, they sometimes find ways to get these over to other countries too. So they might have some store there in your part of the world that might be able to carry it. Who knows? So anyway, I think that's it for this Robin. It's a really cool figure, and you should buy it. And I'm gonna go ahead and take my nap because, like I said, it's past time for my nap. But I did want to do this video, and like I said, I was out watching the Odyssey for the first part of the day, and I really enjoyed it. So, did you find any Alan Wayne, aka the Belk Man? I got this one. I did the review of this one a few days back. He's actually the easiest one to find. Usually when I find one at Target, it's the one Batman that they have left out of the whole case. And I figure Batman's probably like the one that's packed heaviest per case because, you know, he's like the most popular character. So, you know, kind of ironically, he winds up being the one that sells out the last just because there's so many of them. Oh, my suit, my actual suit. I don't have any suit pictures. See, like my old Facebook got destroyed. It's a long story. So I don't have any pictures of me in my suit. There might be some online somewhere. I don't know, but and there are pictures of me in my Brave and the Bold Batman suit, which is more Adam West style. So Lone Dragon says, as long as you're taking things, don't take the 40 cakes because that's terrible. I've taken enough cakes lately. Thanks. If I find any though, I'll post them. So yeah. So, but where? I don't know. There might be some on my Facebook. There was some that wound up on the Bleeding Cool website that year of me in the Brave and the Bold costume. So you get to see me in all my pudgy glory. It's very nice. But I worked really hard on that costume. I was show them on stream. I don't actually have them personally. Like I said, they're kind of floating around out there in the ether, though. You can probably find one. So it's on the Bleeding Cool website. It was, God, when was that I did that? Was that 2012? I don't remember. 2009, somewhere around there. But there were a lot of guys who did like really good Adam West Batman suits. And I kind of always wanted to have an Adam West style Batman suit. But you know, there were all these other dudes who already had their own perfect Adam West suits. And I'm like, I can't top them. You know, I wouldn't want to try either because they're perfect. But I can do my own thing and do something really cool. And the Brave and the Bold was on TV at the time. And I'm like, why don't I do a Brave and the Bold costume in the style of an Adam West Batman costume? And I think that would look really sweet. So that was what I wound up doing. So, but anyway, that's it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure that you like and subscribe and all the fun YouTube stuff down below. Leave a comment and let me know what you think about this particular Robin figure and just this Mattel line in general, which I've been pretty happy with so far. Hopefully I can find the Joker soon, and hopefully they'll get out the Superman, I think the Superman and Green Lantern and Deathstroke are in that wave. So I'm looking forward to those. And I guess that's it for this episode. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Next episode, I'll be back with something else. And I think I'm going to open up some of these Masters of the Universe figures that I have. Since, like I said, I now have 2 single-carded figures and a 2-pack. And I still have a bunch of 2000X Cartoon Chronicles figures I need to open up. I've got Tila, and I've got Merman, and I've got Orko. So I did finally get the Orko figure. And then Bobby Walt asked, do you have a favorite SDCC reveal? There was a lot of stuff that was there that I really liked, but not one specific thing. But I was really excited about the new Origins, the new Masters of the Universe Origins stuff they've got coming out. A lot of those figures looked really cool to me. And some people were like, more repaints of these characters. But I don't really mind as long as like they're good repaints of the characters that I think look cool and are worth buying. And they're going to have that Build-A-Figure gimmick to them, which I think is really cool. Al Davis is excited about the new Jada Invincible action figures. So here's your homework assignment. If you watched this whole episode in the replay, or, you know, if you want to leave your comment, if you watched it live and you want to leave a comment, you can do that too. But your homework assignment is to post what you were most excited about at the San Diego Comic-Con. But yeah, I think that's the thing that, I don't know if it's the thing that I was most excited about when I first saw it, but it's the thing that sticks out in my mind is those new Origins figures, and I think they look great, and I can't wait to talk about them on this channel. I think I'm probably more excited to talk about them on this channel than anything else. So anyway, that's it for this episode. Hope you enjoyed it. We will talk to you next time. Bye.